Well, hello everyone. This is Jeannie White from Social Connections on Passionate World Talk Radio. And today, through a little bit of a mix-up, that's okay, we have Jason Ford here and his little crew with him, his little team. And Jason is going to be talking about different things that you can do for tips on Halloween with your pets. So welcome, Jason.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you. And do you want to give a little background about what it is you want to talk about, or at some point would like to introduce your team when you have a chance?
Yeah, they're sitting here waiting for their chance to get some spotlight. Um, well, my name's Jason. I'm with Gladys Goodies, and after a near tragic event that happened, we ended up starting up our own treat business because we realized that one of my dogs needed a special diet, and we just couldn't find the treats that were, suitable for her that met the vet standards of what we needed. So we made them, and from then on, this has been a little bit more than just treats and stuff. I want to educate people, and I want to be helping them with their pets, and I hope that nobody will ever have to go through with what I went through ever again.
Wow. And this was because your dog had an issue with food, or was in the particular dog food?
Well, it was kind of like that. What I was doing is I gave my dogs, like, you've seen the sausages, right? Those long, treats that you can give them that look like a sausage, and it's edible for them, and they can eat it on it for a little bit. They're little sticks. Well, I was giving my dogs that for a while. And what I ended up having to deal with was one day my dog got really sick. I mean, really sick. And I didn't know quite what was wrong with her. So we took her into the vet, and we found out that she had almost no liver left. Her liver was not functioning correctly. But because it was actually an organ that could be rejuvenated, we tried to save her and go through the process. And then that same day, I came home, and Gladys got completely sick. I won't even go into the details, but it was nasty. It was a lot of cleanup. Let's just say.
Yeah.
And so we took her to the vet. She was in the opposite room, and her pancreatitis went to full-blown acute pancreatitis. The reason being is that the treats that I gave her were so high in fat that was almost to the point of being toxic to the dog in itself. But the other problem with it is that it had ethylene glycol in it, which is also antifreeze. So what they used to soften the sticks up a little bit over time killed my dog's liver and severely injured my dog that was already kind of sick. And mix that with the fat, Gladys is now full-blown pancreatitis. She's going to have it the rest of her life, and she's going to be on a special diet the rest of her life. We unfortunately lost the other one. We were not able to save her. But, this is just from treats that we thought were decent at the store,
Right.
And they really weren't.
They weren't at all. So what kind of tips, or what do you offer to people about what type of, treats or food, dog food, what they can eat, or what do you suggest?
Read the labels. I did not read the labels, and if I had read the labels, I would not have given those to my dog at all. The other thing is, just because it's cheap does not mean it's a good treat. A lot of stuff you buy from the dollar store comes from China. A lot of the China treats right now have tainted treats, but not just ethylene glycol, but other things. So they're dangerous. Go for a more quality treat. It's worth it. I mean, you're going to pay $2 for a treat, from the dollar store, but that could lead to $5,000 worth of vet medical care later on, and then a potentially long-term life disorder like what Gladys is going through now. So read the labels. 90% of the time, whatever you see in the label, you'll see a lot of fillers, a lot of byproducts, and a lot of junk. And that's what they do to make the treats a little cheaper, but it's not good for us to eat. So why would we give it to a dog who is not even prepared to have a stomach like that?
Right.
And these are some serious things that we got to look out for, and also look for the fat content. Most treats, especially the ones that are kind of soft and squishy, you'll notice that they're probably around 8 to 10% crude fat. Now, that is like 4 times the fat that we would eat in our body for a dog. The other thing that so I try to look at treats being between 3 and 4% 3 and 4%, and that seems to be a little bit healthy. But regardless of the treat, it's just a treat. You cannot sit there and use it as a meal for them. So don't give them too many of them. Just give them enough to say, here you go. I love you. And that's really the important part, because the treats are going to be higher in fat. They're going to be higher in a lot of other bad stuff that you should not be giving your dog, other than the regular food is. So those are some of the things that I would look out for if you want to give your dog something, a good treat. Look for better ingredients, look for lower fats, and don't give them it as a meal substitute, like some people.
Oh, some people too. So what would be, see, I haven't had a dog in a long time. I had a little Pekingese about 20 years ago. And we, she was very fussy in what she ate anyway. So we, quality and money didn't pay attention to her. She just liked certain things, but good things. But she, we didn't give her a lot of treats to eat. Just a few things. Sometimes we would buy a bone, and cook it up. We'd get it from the, at the store. And, but we made sure that it wouldn't splinter on her, that she wouldn't get hurt by it, but she used to like those sometimes. We would do that for her. But as far as ingredients, do people understand what kind of ingredients, like pay attention to the first 3 or 4 ingredients in there, or do you look at the whole package?
I look at the whole package, but the first ones are generally what it's made of. Now, you got to remember, if you go to McDonald's, you're getting real meat, but you're getting very little meat. Have you ever bitten into like one of those McDonald's chicken McNuggets, and you look at it and it looks like bread inside?
Oh God, my nephews loved them when they were like 7 years old.
I do too. I love them. But the problem with it is that they're mostly fillers. That's what you're getting, is you're getting a filler. You're getting a little bit of chicken. That's how they're able to give them away for so cheap. You're getting a little bit of meat. The rest of it's all bread and other ingredients to fill you up. Well, that's the same thing with dogs. Most of the stuff that they put in there is a little bit of meat and a whole lot of fillers.
A lot of fillers.
So when you can go to the store and get those duck chips for $12 for a pound, you can't buy duck anywhere cheaper. You can't buy duck that cheap.
No.
So how the heck are they giving it away for that? Well, if you look in it, there's a lot of fillers, there's a lot of grains, there's a lot of byproducts, there's a lot of other things that they add to it. And, if you've ever looked up and read what a byproduct is, it would make you sick. It's basically whatever they cannot use that would normally be thrown away of an animal.
And they just throw it in there.
Yeah, so that's what you're getting. You're getting duck, but you're not getting duck. You're getting the parts that should not be eaten by normal people.
We don't want to give it to the dogs either. But one of the things we wanted to talk about, because it's coming up quickly, is Halloween.
Yes.
And Halloween and candy with children also, but dogs also shouldn't be eating this chocolate, or?
Chocolate's extremely toxic for dogs. A little bit won't hurt them, but I wouldn't want to even really chance it if you don't have to. There is chocolate that you can buy for dogs that's designed for their body structure, but it actually poisons their system with the stuff that we eat, because we have different sugars in it. So those are some things you definitely want to keep out of the way. And when you do come home with your kid and you have treats, you get the big sack of candy that they collect, or even the stuff that you're giving out. Don't put it in the area where a dog can get it, because they will eat it. They smell it, they know it's there, and they like to jump into it just as much as the kids do. But one of those that one attack where they jump in there and eat that could literally kill them or send them to the hospital, and then you're looking at a $5,000 to $6,000 bill. So just be a little conscious of what you're doing with the treats. But a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of potential problems that you can experience as a pet owner during Halloween. We just don't think about it. It's as simple as, getting out, biting somebody. And there's things that you can do to stop that too. And also the harassment. Anytime you have a dog, that anytime anybody knocks on the door, they go running, they go barking, and it drives you nuts, it drives them nuts. And there are things that you can do to just kind of, make it a little bit of an easier night for everybody.
Right. And what would you recommend, especially in Halloween, do you take the dog out? Do you not take the dog out, or do you put them in another room? What do you do?
It depends where you live. If you're down here in the South, generally it's going to be hot. So it's going to be a nice night, probably around 60, 70 degrees.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you have the chance, go outside and set up out there. Bring your candy out, bring a table out, relax, sit down and let the trick-or-treaters come to you. If they don't have to knock on the door, you don't have any chance of having somebody bit or losing or your dog running away by opening up the door. However, we all know that some places up north, Boston, Connecticut, New York, Minnesota, Wisconsin, those places get cold. So you're going to have to keep them inside. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put a harness on them if possible, because they can get out of collars, and always keep their leash on it. And what you can do is when they go to answer the door, have somebody hold them, or you can hold them, and you can hold them back. So they'll see everybody, but the chances of them running out the door are, slim to none. If you leave the door open, if they're anything like my dogs, they could run outside. You don't even know they got out. Yeah. And therefore you go looking for them. They're not around. They're already running down the street somewhere. And then you got a real mess on your hands.
Trying to get them.
So if you don't want to hold them and stuff, put them in a crate. If you have a crate, some people do that when they sleep, just put them in the crate. Put them in another room maybe too. Or if they have like one of those little gates that you can get for kids that they can't jump over, put that up there. I don't know if I'd suggest closing the door on them, because if they hear the doorbell ringing, they hear the door knocking, they're going to scratch. It could screw up your paint, screw up your doors. So, keep something where they don't feel like they're trapped, but yet they can still see what's going on. And they'll bark. They'll bark if they answer the door. But if you're a little vigilant too, you see the kids coming up to the door. So if you sit in the room and you open up the windows, you'll see them coming up. You can meet them there, and that will help lessen the doorbell and the knocking that drives them nuts and you nuts before the end of the day is over.
I know it. It would be like, I don't know about the dogs, but there's definitely a sugar high on that night, for everyone, But do you, do you have a website? Because I looked at it and it's pretty intriguing what you have there, your little advertisement with your little one. Was that your little one that was doing the advertising?
That was one of them, actually. Yeah. And the way that I did that commercial was really funny, because we were actually arguing over chocolate one night. And I'm sitting there trying to eat a brownie, and he wanted it. And I'm like, you can't have it. It's gonna hurt you. So what I did is I dubbed over what I was saying and put in what I wanted to say for the commercial, and he was responding to me. So it was really cute. But he would do that all the time.
Right.
And he drove me nuts. Yeah. But yeah, that was my little commercial. But the website is GladysGoodies.com, GladysGoodies.com.
Yeah.
And that has my
right. And now, are these particular items, the dog items and everything, is that made by you or is it someone else?
The treats and blankets, yes. The other stuff, what I did is I wanted to have like a boutique type thing too, and I wanted to get them cheaper than what I can get at the store. So a lot of the stuff up there is cheaper or as the same price of stores. I was very competitive about it. And so it makes it easy and convenient for them to do. But I try to have a lot of variety. So it's not just treats. It's also good stuff to make your dog look good. And you got to keep them up, and you got to make them look good all the time. So
oh yes, they do. Yes, you do.
Especially that's what we call swag.
Now, I noticed too that you have a place up there for people to submit their pictures of their animals.
Yes, love that.
Yeah.
All they have to do is go to my Instagram, which is Gladys Goodies. Yeah. And while you're there, you just tag us in it. And we love to see all the different animals, especially if they're eating the treats. We love that. Yes. But we're a big advocate for pets.
Yeah. What kind of treats do you have for the animals?
Mostly they're jerkies, but we're coming out with some new stuff now that are sticks, and they contain blueberry, pineapple, which are antioxidants. And actually pineapple, if you give it to your dog, and a lot of times they like to eat their own waste, that stops them from doing it or lessens it from happening. So it's a vitamin deficiency that I found, and my dog was doing it. We gave him pineapple. He stopped doing it as much. So we do have that. And we have, it comes with oats and some other stuff. So it's like a little Gnostic. The jerkies that we have are pork, beef, chicken, turkey, sweet potato, salmon, and I also have swordfish and tuna. So and those can also be given to cats too. Cats love those, believe it or not. And so we have a variety of different snacks for them to eat. And the sweet potato is really good too if they have digestive problems, because it actually helps them digest their food and it settles their stomach a little bit, kind of like mint. So these are all good treats for them to eat. My dog, it's really the only thing that she can eat. And if you would see the reactions when these dogs eat them and they get to have another one, they jump up. I have one that sits up like a prairie dog. I can't even. We have them in a glass jar at the house, and when I go and get ice, it sounds like the glass jar, and I have them flying out any time of day because they think they're going to get a snack. It's really funny.
Oh my God, that's terrific. Now, also on your site, it's a place too where people can maybe join in. Do you have like a newsletter or something that they could get on a monthly or weekly basis, or is there a way for them to contact you on that site also if they have
absolutely.
questions and stuff like that? Because you never know, people may have a question here or there, and perhaps you may know the answer to it. As far as like helping out the animals and trying to give them as a better diet as possible.
Absolutely. There's a lot of ways to contact us. We have the direct email on there. We have an email form too, but I also have an app for Android platform right now. So if they can download that gives them all the contact information they can order right from their phone, and it's free.
What's the name of it? So I can
Gladys Goodies.
It's Gladys Goodies.
Yep, just go to the Play Store, type Gladys Goodies, and it'll get you that. We also have a text word to a number. I can't remember the number offhand, but it's on their website. If they go there, they can sign up for that, and they basically text Gladys Goodies to this like 6-digit number. And what I do is I send out special tips. I send out coupons, all kinds of different stuff. So it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And if you download the apps, I'm working on the Android platform, the Apple platform. If you download them, it takes you to a special page that gives you special app-only coupons. So that kind of gives it a little bit of a nice little perk. So those are two ways to get in touch with us. And of course, we have a newsletter. So, I try to send out newsletters with tips and tricks and coupons and specials and stuff like that along the way as much as I can. I don't like to bombard people with it. I know people are a little bit worried about, getting tons of emails, but right. I send maybe one email out a month, and I send out, I update the apps and stuff, which have push notifications as well. So I send it out like maybe once every other week. I just don't like to bombard people with stuff. So they're never going to get hit with a whole bunch of stuff.
Right. So you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. I would put those out there for you. And I was kind of questioning when we were talking previously about how the seasons affect the dogs, especially with their paws and everything, especially up in the north, to recommend, some sort of assistance to them, maybe a booty or something. Do you recommend something like that on your page or something?
I don't have one on there yet, but there are booties that you can buy. And the best time to take a dog for a walk is in the morning, obviously before the sun gets hot, or after 6-7 o'clock, after the sun's gone down a little bit so it's not as hot. Because I know here in Florida, my driveway was 156 degrees the other day. Wow. And that will burn your feet. It will burn their pads. Now, if you do have to take them out, I mean, we don't know their work schedule. We don't know how they work it, but we do have a salve on our website under the health and health products that you can rub on their paws, and it helps keep their paws from, the burning sensations and keeps them from being rough and dry from too much heat. But if you have a dog and you live in the snow, it's probably a good idea to get them some type of sock anyways with rubber rubber grips on it, because if you've ever seen a dog take off thinking that everything's fine and then you see some ice, that they'll wipe out really easily. So I always, if you have the opportunity to do that, either choose the right time of day to go, or put something on their feet, some type of booty, some type of sock. And if you don't want to buy them, you can get your own little sock and just put a little bit of a tie on it, and it'll work for a little bit. It doesn't need to be anything fancy.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't believe we're almost like 25 minutes into it. I don't know where time goes when I'm talking to people. It's so interesting. Wouldn't you like to just introduce your team? Are they around?
Yes, and I think, here's one of them. This is actually the star of the show. This is Gladys. She's a dachshund. She's 16 years old, and she loves her treats. She's the one that got really, really sick. So she's doing much better though, and she's actually lost weight from our treats because they're not so full of fat and all that other crap that she can't digest.
Yeah.
And then over here, I have. Let's see if I can get her. That's Luna. That's our new rescue.
This the commercial girl, huh?
Yep. Oh no, that's Puppy. He passed away. He was 21 when he passed away.
Oh, he was 21. Oh, look at they getting.
But they're actually getting their treats now. They're getting a Gladys Goodies, so they'll sit there and eat them. And the other one, the little black one over there, his name is Biscuit. Let's see here if I can get it.
That's okay. I just thought people would love to see the animals,
Yeah, there's Biscuit. And there's Luna. So they're happy. They got their treats, and they enjoy them. And they were rescues. We didn't really quite know what was wrong with them, but I know the little brown one here, when I come in from getting the mail, she flips out. So whoever any mail that was with her used probably rolled up paper and beat her with it. So because she flips out and can't handle it. So I have to come in with the mail behind my back. Or if I have anything in my hands, I got to really put it behind my back. But she's a sweet little thing. I mean, they just needed a lot of love. They needed. Oh, there's Biscuit in the background. He's photobombing me.
Oh, there you go. He's photobombing.
And he came with her. They were like a bonded pair.
Yeah.
And he's got some issues, but he's a super loving little dog. So anytime I get a chance, I always say to go ahead and adopt. From either from the pound of the shelter or a non-kill shelter. And if you have to surrender your dog, I know it happens. I mean, it sucks. But if you do that, don't take him to the pound. The pound gives them less than 7 days usually to live. So if they don't get rescued, they're euthanized. Give them to a no-kill shelter, and they'll take them for free usually. Mm-hmm. And I'd much rather see my dog that I love, go to a better home than be possibly euthanized down the line.
Right.
So, these guys I got from a no-kill shelter, like I said, you don't know what you're going to get from them at first. They may not give you kisses. They may not give you love as much. They may not snuggle as much. But when they do warm up, they are amazing because they are extremely loyal because they know that you saved them.
Yeah, they're safe with you then. They know they're in a safe haven. That's wonderful. Well, before we end, first of all, you have to come back.
Oh, yeah, they'll love to.
You have to come back and talk more about this, and we'll, find another subject or something. Or maybe have your team start talking or something.
Yeah. Oh, Biscuit will. He'll talk to you, won't you?
Well, look
See,
at him.
there he is.
He's photobombing you.
He loves to talk.
Yeah. Well, I really want to. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about quickly that you didn't mention, or?
Well, if you do for Halloween, this is a good idea.
Okay.
Don't leave your dog out at nighttime. Especially, sometimes they sleep outside. Sometimes you just let them run around in the backyard. The reason being is when the adult kids get out, I'm talking not necessarily full adults, but kids that are in high school, they like to play pranks more than the little kids do. So when the middle school kids and the high school kids get out, they're gonna egg your house. They're gonna do all kinds of weird stuff, toilet paper it. But a lot of times, if they know you have a dog, they will throw treats back there that are actually poisoned with stuff. They think it's funny, and it's not funny. So or they'll let the dog out. They'll open up the gate, and let them out. The problem that they run into is they might actually get bit. And then you're liable for it. The other thing is if they throw the food over there and the dog gets sick, you're going to the vet and you might lose your dog. So keep your dog inside. When you're ready to go outside and check the perimeter. Make sure nobody opened up gates. Make sure nobody threw anything over the fence. And just do some due diligence. It could save you a lot of money. 2 years ago, we had somebody throw something over our fence, and I caught it before my dogs did. So it was chocolate, and it was filled with something that we just did not recognize. But I knew that if they had eaten that chocolate ball, they would have died.
Yeah. It's really a shame. It really is. Sometimes, how they allow how animals are abused in one way or another. Mine was a princess. That's all I got to tell you.
These guys are too.
She ruled the roost. That was for sure. You were the ones getting trained. She trained you really good, but loved her dearly. But I want to thank you very much, Jason, for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry for any inconvenience for you. But you have to come back, probably around the holidays. I think Christmas would be a good time to come. Because
it is a good time.
You have some nice products that you may be able to promote to help out, because the great little stocking stuffers,
Absolutely. I can bring out some of the hottest toys out there and show them, and we can do they do it for people. Let's do it for animals too.
Well, you have to do it for animals also. They're part of the family,
They are.
Yes, they are. Well, thank you again for coming. And I'm going to send you, I'll send you a blog with all the information in there, and I'll attach the audio, I'll attach the video if you want to use it. And I'll want to keep in contact with you, because it's always good, because, I have people that say, well, do you ever do anything with pets? And I say, really, no. I mean, I never had the opportunity to, but, now that I've done this one, I think I could do a few more, really.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you again for coming. This is Jeannie White from Social Connections on Passionate World Talk Radio. Thank you, and I'll see you again, folks. Thanks again, Jason.